Alright, let's talk music. But first, let's talk a little bit about who we are and our credentials. My name is Gary Forney. I'm a singer, songwriter, actor. I starred in Off the Charts, a song poem story, broadcast on PBS in 2003. I've headlined clubs in Chicago, appeared on TV there. I've been featured in the New York Times, the Chicago Tribune, the LA Weekly. Recently I contributed songs to a comedy horror film called Puppies, starring Alice Cooper's daughter, Calico Cooper. On this show I'd like to discuss music for the beginner or the amateur or people like you and me. Music that I hope will interest you and that will encourage you to try something in music. Well, let's talk music.
It's time for puppy theater! Hooray! Hooray! It's time for puppy theater! Hey Tiger, I just had a great idea for a song.
Really? Wow, I never knew anyone who wrote songs. What's it about?
I've been hearing about all sorts of people dying from smoking tobacco and it gave me an idea.
What kind of idea?
Did you know tobacco was introduced to the Virginia colonists by the Native American tribes there?
Yeah, so?
Well, it means that tobacco deaths could be thought of as the Native American revenge.
Do you think so? What's that have to do with your song?
Well, my idea is 3 minutes of someone coughing while Indian tom-toms like you hear in the old Western movies play in the background. I call it the Native Americans' Revenge.
It does sound sort of cool. Can I hear it?
That's the rough part. I haven't got it recorded yet, and I don't really know how to.
I see ads in the back of the tabloids all the time. Hit songs needed now. Maybe you could send your song idea to one of them. They could record it.
Yeah, right. It might be worth a try. I think I will. It's Santa Claus! What are you doing here, Santa?
You sent your song idea for the Native Americans' Revenge to Froggy Records. They loved it, and they want to record it. I brought you a big, big bag of money.
Wow, thank you, Santa! Hey, it's Santa again. What are you doing here again?
Your song was played on the radio. It's a big hit now. People love it. I am bringing you another big bag of money.
Wow, thanks again, Santa. That is great.
And so Puppy bought a fancy car and lived happily ever after.
What did you think of Puppy's hit song? Did you find it amusing? Did you find it fascinating? What did you think of it? Did he deserve bag after bag of money for it? At least Puppy had a dream, which is to write a song, which is a positive, creative thing I think we all have. Today we're going to talk about what Puppy created, which is called a song poem. Song poems have been around for over 100 years. They are the result of those ads you see in comic books, tabloids, any cheap magazine that say, send us your lyrics, hit songs needed now. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. Now the song Puppy just did was actually a real song. Somebody sent in the idea to a song poem company. They wanted the singer to cough for 3 minutes, and that was their hit record. Of course, none of these hit records ever become hit records. They failed to go anywhere. And mostly what happens is the song poem composer, the person who writes the music, gets a little richer, but nobody else does. However, song poems now are they're considered, they can be a really nice hobby. They can be a really great thing too, just so you don't think you're going to have a hit song and make barrels of money is the main thing. And so today's subject is song poems. As our special guest we're going to have later is one of the guys who composes music for your lyrics. First, I think we should talk about what a song can be. A song can be anything. Even anyone, even members of my audience can write a song. Now, you don't have to have the skill to write your own music. You can send to these companies. And well, what will you send them? How much will it cost? Well, you can send them anything. You can, like the Native American Revenge, Just if you think it's cute or funny, go ahead. You want to spend your money on it, go ahead. But you can also write serious songs. Write your girlfriend a love song, or your wife, or your boyfriend, or write a song about your pet dog. I've heard songs about pet dogs that were really cute. As to what it will cost, average price is around $100, but you can get them done for free, and I'll tell you how to do that, or you can spend more. If you would like to get a song written for free, check around, and there are lots of budding musicians that you could ask. Tell them you have this song lyric or this idea, and see if they'll do it for you for free, just for the experience or what have you. Or you can spend the money to send to one of these professional companies. Okay, let's get you started in writing your very own song. First thing we need is an idea. Any idea will do. I have heard songs ranging from a blind man's penis through we'll be doing it for Christmas, anything you can think of. But I will tell you a few exceptions. If your song is racist, if all you have is hate in your heart, I don't think anybody wants to hear it, so you must have shut off the show right now. Again, if all you have to say is obscenities, I don't think anybody needs to hear it, so let's not hear any songs about hatred or obscenity, okay? Let's have some nice songs that everybody wants to hear, and that will make you proud of the fact that you said them and made them, okay? Other than that, any subject matter will do. The easiest way to learn song form, or your basic, form of your song, is to listen to a lot of songs and see how they're laid out. But you'll find most songs are laid out in a simple A-B format, which is verse, which is A, and B would be the chorus. Don't try and get overly elaborate with your song, just a nice simple song. So listen to a few A-B songs, verse, chorus. Light My Fire, simple verse, chorus, and it was a hit song for the summer of '67. You'll find there's perfectly wonderful songs. They're simple to write, and so I'd concentrate on the A-B chorus at first. If you can't figure out how to do it, don't worry about it. Just write your words down anyway, and there's people that can work with it. Hopefully by now you've had your idea and you've written down your lyrics. I'm assuming for this show that you don't play an instrument yourself and you don't sing, so you're going to need someone to find someone to do those for you, which is where we get into those little ads you see in the song poem ads. Hit songs needed now. But before you even bother with any of those, I'd prefer you really kind of looked around and asked around and see if you can find some struggling, starving independent artist somewhere and see if they'll write you some music for your song, maybe sing it into a recorder or something, so that everybody's paying, and they'll probably do it for you for little or nothing, or maybe free. So before you go an expensive route, I'd prefer you thought about that a little bit. Well, let's talk a little bit about those ads. Those ads are semi-professional musicians, and they will do a good job for you. But shop around a little bit, and if they want more money than you can afford, just pass on them. There's people out there that will do them, like I say, for free, or for little or nothing, or for $100. Now, I don't know how much $100 is to you, but that's an average price. Now, if you answer one of those ads and you send in your lyrics, do not be thrilled or surprised when they say, hey, this is a great song, we can record it for a fee, because that's what they're all about. You could send in a page from the telephone book and they'll say, we can record this for $80 or $100. So, okay. But everybody gets an acceptance form that says your song has been accepted for recording. So just go from that idea that your song is going to be accepted no matter how bad it may be. Okay? But now to pick out a company, pick out someone who, send to a lot of them, get different offers. And then pick out someone who, see if you can sample their music somehow, listen to it somehow before you have them do your song, see if you like it. And feel free to, since it's your money, to tell them what you want, what you think, your idea, your vision for your song. There are several competent companies. Ramsey Kearney in Nashville does a real decent country sound, but he's relatively expensive. There's Art Kaufman, who does them for a reasonable price and does a good job. They all do good jobs. There's also J. Gale Kilgore, who does them really relatively cheaply. Just bear in mind, you do tend to get what you pay for. I'm going to warn you about a few pitfalls here. If you get after you've had your song recorded, if you get an offer or they're wanting more money, forget it. Your song is not going to get any airplay. I don't care how great it is. You're just producing a song. So if they want another $200-300 for promotion, just don't forget it. Because no song poem has ever been a hit. And it's like puppies. It's not going to be a hit. You're not going to get bags of money even from Santa Claus. So forget that idea. Also, if they're going to put it on their compilation CD, give it a little thought, because basically, that means you're going to get like 5 copies or 10, but that's all you're going to get. It's not going to be played by anybody other than the other song poets who are playing the CD because their song's on it, and they might hear yours too. Now, hopefully by now you're kind of got your idea and you're wondering, what do these sound like? So I'm going to play one of mine now, which is kind of a typical song poem. Mine are obviously a little better than most, but I'll try to play a typical song poem for you now to give you an idea what one does sound like.
We'll be doing it this Christmas. Please be patient in the meantime. You know we still love each other, and we're just old and tired. But we'll be doing it for Christmas. If we can stay awake this year, we'll be doing it for Christmas. We keep snapping at each other about a lack of satisfaction. Seems we blame each other, but it's just our situation. Neither of us getting younger, prefer our sleep to sexual hunger. But I'm giving you a gift this season. We'll be doing it this Christmas. Please be patient in the meantime. You know we still love each other, we're just old and tired. But we'll be doing it for Christmas. Christmas. If we can stay awake this year, we'll be doing it. Oh, for Christmas. Come on, baby. Quite a thrill. Meanwhile, we're both growing tired and have no time to kill. If we don't get our full 8 hours, might not make it through again. But try to be a little patient, giving you a Christmas present. We'll be doing it this Christmas. Please be patient in the meantime. Know that we still love each other. We're just old and tired. We'll be doing it for Christmas. If we can stay awake this year, we'll be doing it. Oh, for Christmas. We'll be doing it for Christmas. I promise you, baby. It's gonna happen. Viagra or no Viagra?
In this segment, I'd like you to meet a friend of mine, Art Kaufman, aka he's also known as David Fox. He's a composer. He's one of the guys that would compose the music for your lyrics and sing your finished song. He's going to talk a little bit about the songs he gets and how he does them. He gets songs from all sorts of people. I've known Art Kaufman, I've worked with him. Later on in his segment, he'll talk about performing in Chicago. I have performed with David in Chicago, and song poems are always a blast to perform, to do. It's a lot of fun. And I'd like to welcome you into the family of song poems if you write one. This is not an endorsement of David Fox or Magic Key Productions. There are dozens of companies. I just invited David's little bit to give you an idea of the other side of this. Who will be writing your music if you know, one of the people that might possibly be writing your music. Once again, I suggest learn how to play an instrument, learn how to sing, do your own songs. But music is available for everyone. I'm just pointing out an avenue that you might want to pursue. Here's David Fox.
I started working in the song poem business back when Elvis Presley died in the summer of '77. And I answered an ad that was asking for composers to write music to poems and lyrics. And I got hired by a company called MSR Records, which at that time was one of the biggest companies doing song poems. And they had produced hundreds of recordings for people since the 40s, I believe. And I started out just writing melodies to the poems, and at that time people were mourning the death of Elvis Presley, and I did tons of songs about Elvis.
I've been working for David for about a year, and I come into the studio. I'm a vocalist, and normally he'll have a lead sheet, some lyrics, and he'll hand it to me, and I usually say, "This can't be a song." And at first it was really amazing to me because I thought, how does he do it? I come in, I hear the track, I read the words, I go in the studio, I sing the song, and I come out and I think, wow. And at first I hadn't done much studio work, so at first I was just kind of overwhelmed and impressed with the product. It was great. The third or fourth time, and each song was different. One song was a disco song, one song was a country song, one song was an R&B song. I came out and I realized that I had just somehow helped David Fox create something that reflected part of somebody's life.
It's been rather interesting watching David's change since the show, the PBS show, and now we've been doing the shows on for different locations, doing them live, bringing a large group of people in, watching their reactions when they first heard the wonderful songs like Tuna, 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 and we're doing it in Christmas, and God Bless Viagra, and things like that. The audience has been at times slightly bewildered, and then they get in with the flow of it, the emotion of it, and then they just start to laugh and understand that this is all good humor, and this is all about having fun.
We're inviting David Fox to the stage right now. So understand, please, let's welcome David Fox.
1, 2, 3.
People send in poems, and I see the poems come in, I hear the end results. I'm not sure sometimes how one gets to the other, because you read the lyrics like to Teddy Bear Picnic and you think, what is this? I laugh all the way through it. And then I see this song and it's great, it sounds wonderful, and I know this person's happy somewhere. So now when people say, what do? I say, well, I'm a personal assistant to David Fox, and I can tell them what song poems are.
The last song I did was a Western waltz, and I left thinking, boy, that came out pretty well. Dave did a great job. The song really came out pretty well, but I didn't really think too much more about it. And about 3 weeks later, David said he'd gotten a letter from the person that sent him the lyrics saying it was exactly what they wanted. They had put on the song, they had danced with their husband, and he and I just kind of looked at each other and said, wow.
Right. We were, as we do these performances, we let it be known that we want people to give us to write up poems. And then we write up as we bring the poems in, we look at the words and create a song from these right there ad hoc as we're going. One of them was My Big Toe. It was rather interesting. I didn't realize that we could talk that much about a big toe for 3 to 4 minutes about that big toe.
Over the years, we've had many gifted and talented song poets. One of them is Luis Ramos, and some of my favorites of his are Girls Run from Louis Ramos, and City of Amsterdam was really a great one. It was on one of our compilations. Another really good writer is Gary Forney, who is actually the star of the film Off the Charts. Some of my favorites of his are Aliens Stole My Dog and Three-Eyed Boy. Another one is Sylvia Stearns, Elizabeth Cotton, and of course there's Shalar One Singletary, who wrote Loving Annie Oakley and Nonviolent Taekwondo Trooper.
Because somehow these words come on a flat piece of paper. And David looks at him, and I always feel kind of like he channels the person a little bit. He gets in there and figures out what that person wants. And sometimes the person suggested a style or, you know, the kind of music or the kind of vocalist they want. But a lot of times it's just David. He looks and he says, and he creates, he hands it to me or to somebody else that has what he thinks the song needs. And it's just the coolest thing.
I call it American roots, actually unfiltered American roots music, because the lyrics and the poems are coming from everyday people, and it's really an expression of our time.
Okay, hopefully you've gotten your song done now. You've come up with your idea. You had someone produce it. Hopefully you have a copy of your song now on CD. Now, how do you promote it? You want the whole world to hear your song. How do you promote it? Well, avoid those offers that they're going to give you that they can put on the CD and promote it, because they're not going to be able to. What you do is you get access to a computer, either your own or someone's, and have many copies as you can possibly afford made of your song on CD. Mail them to anybody that you think will remotely listen. Just get your song out there. You never know what will click. Another thing to do is get on the internet and do a search, and you can find places that will put your music up for sale and review, and they'll try to sell it and promote it. I recommend you find someone who can put them up for sale for a digital download too. Take your song and promote it yourself. Don't waste money on big time promoters. You're not going to get back what you pay them. If you do it yourself and you believe in your song, you can promote it yourself and actually make a little pocket change and something you're proud of. And yeah, promote your song yourself. Don't pay somebody else to do it. Today, with the internet and the computers, you can do it. I do recommend that you do not send your song to radio stations. Radio stations are overwhelmed with music and they don't want your song. And you're just wasting their time and yours. Although there are internet radio stations who are starving for something to play. Once again, get on the computer, get on the internet, and find places to promote your own music for no cost or very little cost. And just enjoy your song for what it is, and enjoy. That concludes this episode of Let's Talk Music. Hopefully you've been encouraged to write your own song, that you've learned a little bit about those little ads you've seen. For further research, there's an interesting documentary about song poems called Off the Charts, A Song Poem Story, starring yours truly. I starred in it. But there are also websites you can go to. If you have a computer, just do some sort of web search for them. It's a fascinating little bit of music that anyone can get into, and I'd like to encourage you to, no matter what you do, get out there and make some music. Okay.
Where's the kaboom? There was supposed to be an